TV's Karamali joins us now with more. Good to see you, Kamil. Canada set to recognize Palestinian statehood this fall, but reaction quick from Donald Trump. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, Mark Carney saying Canada will likely do that at the General Assembly, the UN General Assembly in September. But obviously this is stoking negative reaction from Israel's biggest ally in the United States, and a relationship that is now fraught with complexity, a very sensitive time between Canada and the United States, with that August 1st deadline related to additional tariffs being tacked on to Canadian goods being exported into the United States. So here's what Donald Trump had to say in response to Carney's statement yesterday, talking about how Canada will likely recognize a Palestinian state, saying, wow, Canada has just announced that it is backing statehood for Palestine. That will make it very hard for us to make a trade deal with them. Obviously, some contextual background. It has already been quite difficult to make a trade deal with the up and down, back and forth with this Trump administration in terms of what will be taxed, what will be tariffed, and by how much. We're also hearing from Israel, who said Israel rejects the statement by the PM of Canada. The change in the position of the Canadian government at this time is, quote, a reward for Hamas. And the Conservatives also pushing back against Carney's statement in terms of a statehood for a independent Palestine, saying a unilateral declaration of Palestinian statehood without peace and negotiations or a renunciation of violence destroys the path to a durable two-state solution. Those are who are for against Carney's and Canada's push for a Palestine state. But there are bodies that have come out obviously in favor of it. The NDP said that they are in favor of this, although saying it took way too long, saying specifically it should not have taken the Liberals this long to make this decision, and it should not take until September to implement it. The National Council of Canadian Muslims also very supportive of this new rhetoric around a Palestinian statehood, saying, quote, this is a historic day for Canada. We're glad to see our country join the global majority towards the announcement of an upcoming formal recognition of Palestinian sovereignty in September, Renee.
So Carney does say that this recognition will come with conditions. Walk us through what those are.
Yeah, I mean, we know that Canada has long stood in favor of a two-state solution. So first of all, Carney highlighted in the press conference why a two-state solution won't work, saying primarily it's because the Israeli government's failure to prevent a rapidly deteriorating humanitarian disaster in Gaza. We know that the health authority in Gaza has said more than 100 people have now died because of malnutrition, and more than 1,000 Palestinians seeking aid have been killed by Israeli troops. The death toll since October 7th now surpassing 60,000 Palestinians killed. He also spoke about how the accelerated illegal settlements in the West Bank and East Jerusalem is also a reason why Canada is shifting gears as the violence against Palestinians has soared. And third of all, he said a two-state solution is no longer tenable because of the threat of Hamas terrorism against Israel, with Hamas's rejection of Israel's right to exist, and a two-state solution. So throwing the idea of a two-state solution out the window for Canada, instead saying we support a Palestinian state under these conditions. And he listed three, saying that he spoke to Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas and that he has committed to reforms. Another condition, the Palestinian Authority holds a general election in 2026, which Hamas can have no part of. And lastly, a third condition, a commitment to the demilitarization of Palestine and the release of all Hamas hostages. About 20 are still believed to be alive and being held by Hamas. Have a listen to a little bit of what Carney had to say as to why this shift in rhetoric is taking place.
Others have responsibilities, Canada included, responsibilities on the humanitarian side, responsibilities with governance and other aspects that we're supporting, and we make our own independent foreign policy positions.
And when asked what made Canada want to now recognize a Palestinian state, Carney said it had to do with there being multiple countries now participating in the decision, Renee, joining France and the UK primarily. Back over to you.
All right, CTV's Kamil Karamali reporting. Thanks, Kamil.
You're welcome.